I thought, oh my God, Devil Wears Prada, we made that, what? I think everything is about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And my kid said, Mom, it's 20 years ago.
After 20 years, Meryl Streep is back as Miranda Priestly in The Devil Wears Prada 2. Hi, I'm Philip in London, and I'm on my way to an interview with Meryl Streep and Stanley Tucci for the new movie, and I can't wait to meet these two Hollywood icons.
Sorry, who is this?
This is Quotable. Thank you very much, and thank you for not having a lunch break, because that way I can pick up my son on time from the nursery.
Oh, perfect. Good.
Very sweet. So, why is the timing right now perfect for the sequel? Because I know you were reluctant in the 2000s to do another one.
Well, the timing is particularly interesting for all sorts of journalism. So Runway, 20 years ago, was not beset by social media at all. There was no iPhone until a year after we made the film. The landscape of how we get information, how we curate culture, how we decide on things is completely, and how we monetize those enterprises has completely changed and been, in many ways, exploded. More democratized, but at the same time, tricky for those established in institutions that we relied on. So I thought it was a great idea that Aline Brosh McKenna came up with to put these very sort of vivid characters who are certainly placed in their world, in a world that's suddenly been shaken by the tremors of digitization.
I agree, and I can very much, it resonated with me a lot as a journalist.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
When you, I'm sure you watched the first one again, or I assume you watched the first one again. How does it make you feel when you watch the old one, and how does it hold up to today's standards?
I think the old one holds up beautifully, which is one of the reasons why I think people are so desperate for the sequel. Even in the fashion sense, the movie does not seem dated in any way. It's really beautifully structured and artfully constructed. I think what David did and the editor did, if you just watch the movie again, it's kind of, we saw little bits and pieces the other day, and it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And for that reason, it's a movie that people want to watch over and over again.
I agree. I rewatched it before this week.
Yeah.
But when the original is such a classic, do you feel any pressure? Did you feel pressure going into this because the expectations were so high?
I didn't feel any pressure because I didn't know the expectations were high.
Okay.
I thought, oh my God, Devil Wears Prada, we made that, what? I think everything is about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And my kid said, Mom, it's 20 years ago. Oh my God. I had no idea that there was this banked and sort of massive anticipation for this thing. I'm not on Instagram. I don't have a TikTok. I don't know that kind of thing. I read other things. So I wasn't aware of it until we stepped out on the streets of New York to shoot the first few days. And then it was an ambush of affection, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I guess it's one of your most iconic roles, even though Miranda is quite a complex character. Do you have any idea why people continue to love it so much?
I think we like mean people. I mean, I think we're, since, Tony Soprano. She's the Tony Soprano of fashion. She just mows them down. I don't know. I think that part of it is it's a quest film. It's a young woman in search of her identity or place in the world. Who is she going to become? And she has one role model and she rejects it. And so we pick up the next one with her having to crawl back to that same person. And it's just an interesting and funny sort of setup.
Stanley, yesterday, Caleb told me how much it meant to him, the scene in the first one where you talk about reading Runway under the covers as a young boy.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, how much do you think the second one has things? Can it be a beacon of hope again for people? Can it make people feel comfortable?
I hope so. I think that the world is very different now. If we look at the way men are dressing, you see a lot of guys on red carpets now. It's very different, and body shapes are different. There's a lot more acceptance of diversity to a certain extent in the fashion industry. Unfortunately, in certain countries and certain governments, that the opposite is happening. There's a bit of a so that's too bad. But I'm really glad that he feels that way, and I've had other young guys tell me that, and that really is wonderful, because to me, I thought it was such a beautifully written speech. That speech, and we all have that. Whether we all have these dreams and aspirations, and sometimes movies can allow us to realize those dreams, or give us, in some strange way, permission.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
I really
you.
enjoyed
Thank
the film.
you. I'm so glad.
So that was Meryl Streep, every bit as amazing as I hoped she would be, a true Hollywood icon, alongside her co-star from The Devil Wears Prada 2, Stanley Tucci, of course. So now I want to hear from you. How did you like The Devil Wears Prada 2? Is it as good as the original? Maybe even better? Or could it not fulfill the high expectations that I assume you had? Because the first one is a genuine classic. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. It's Quotable.